Better believe I'm back to share more thoughts in this crazy year. I might not always nail my points, so if you need any clarity, just drop a question in the comments. Now let's dive in, and if you want to come at me for these opinions, you're just a sad fecking snowflake.
I agree.
NewJeans are starting to look really pathetic. What made me absolutely sick was that they had the audacity to do that live stream, and then Hanny just goes and lies about mistreatment, all to make Min Heejin look like some kind of savior. It's disgusting. Belift Lab released a statement, which you've all seen by now, showing that Alit's manager never told Hanny to ignore her, which happened back in the 27th of May, according to Belift Lab, and apparently Alit members always greeted NewJeans properly with 90-degree bows, caught on the CCTV footage, but no footage of the manager telling the Alit Mimibers.
By the way, about this quote-unquote controversy of the elevator incident with Eilit and NewJeans member Honey, I have a video about it on the channel, so look it up if you're interested in this topic.
To ignore Hanny. So if that's true, then Hanny's nothing but a liar. Then Min Heejin comes out claiming there's additional footage. Give me a break. We all know CCTV footage gets erased after 30 days. So if Min Heejin and her team had footage showing the manager telling Alit members to ignore Hanny, why didn't they save it? If you've got evidence, back it up. Simple.
Yep.
Also, their CCTV doesn't record audio, so how do they even know what was said? Even if they had that footage, it wouldn't even prove bullying or mistreatment. It just makes NewJeans and Min Heejin and her team look like a bunch of clowns trying to push some weak evidence. Like, how is that supposed to hold up? This whole situation feels desperate. And let me tell you, after reading Belift's statement, I noticed some glaring holes in it, but I'll get into that in the next part. We don't have any solid proof beyond Belift's statement, but considering NewJeans' behavior in this whole drama, their connection to Min Heejin, and how Hanny acted like a victim, I wouldn't put anything past them. Sure, Hybe as a whole is shady, but NewJeans are starting to look just as bad. They're old enough to know better, but they chose the wrong side anyway, and there's just no excusing that. What blows my mind is that they, along with their parents, haven't presented any solid evidence of this so-called mistreatment. Hanny being called into an assembly to cry about workplace bullying, that right there is why South Korea is a joke. They focus on the most meaningless things while ignoring real issues. Where's this energy for actual idols facing abuse or women getting SO'd? Or how about Taeil's crime? Where's the outrage over that? Why isn't anyone holding Min Heejin accountable for her own nasty behavior, her bullying, or those sketchy essay allegations? But nope, let's focus on some spoiled idol with nothing but words and no receipts to back it up. Imagine wanting to feel so important that you drag yourself into this mess, burning bridges left and right just to defend a narcissist. NewJeans, where was this fight in you before? It only comes out when Min Heejin is in hot water. It's giving fake and desperate vibes. They should have just kept quiet, but no, they had to insert themselves. And now they're paying for it with their reputation. Don't get me started on their parents either. These parents brush off Belift's statement like it's a lie, but haven't brought one shred of proof to the table. How are they planning to prove?
By the way, I get into that part as well about the parents in the video in my channel. I reacted to Solite TV's video, and I reacted slash made a commentary over that, and the video itself became a little long, but I think it's worth watching or listening, because the audio is important, I think. So you can look at that video as a podcast and just listen and stuff like that. So yeah.
Prove their daughter's innocence if this ever went to court. Did they seriously think we'd take their word as gospel without evidence? Honestly, NewJeans are ruining themselves. They've got no one to blame but themselves, and it's sad to watch them fall apart like this. If they don't get their act together, they'll be remembered for their mess, not their music. Belief's statement honestly gave me a massive headache. They responded to an October 7th article about plagiarism and personnel issues with NewJeans, claiming that the Elite protocol manager never told anyone to ignore Hanny. They even said that the Elite members always greeted NewJeans with respect, and that they have CCTV footage to back it up. Back it up, these nuts. First of all, the whole focus on CCTV footage is a massive red flag. Sure, it shows what people are doing, but without audio, we're missing all the important details such as the tone and actual words. If the problem was about verbal disrespect or someone getting iced out, just showing a video doesn't make any sense. The incident they're talking about happened on May 27th, and they reviewed the footage on August 14th. Honestly, relying on that is just sketchy as hell. Also, the CCTV footage is useless if there's no audio, making both Min Hee-jin and Belift Lab look like clowns. Min Hee-jin claims there's extra footage of the incident, but Belift just brushes her off, saying it's unavailable due to a 30-day retention period. That's suspicious. No third-party verification means it was all done internally. If they wanted to seem credible, they should have gotten an independent review and mentioned it in their statement instead of making it look like they're hiding something. And here what's baffling. If this incident happened when Min Hee-jin was CEO, why didn't her team save the footage as evidence? And since the footage is silent, how do they even know what was said? Are they telepathic? Relying on visuals alone is ridiculous and raises more questions than it answers. Regardless of whether the footage exists, it still doesn't prove anything about workplace bullying or mistreatment. Min Hee-jin's claims and NewJeans' experiences still need proof, and right now it's just a he said she said circus. Also, they barely address the plagiarism accusations and offer zero details. The Ilgan Sports article dropped on October 7th, and they're still fumbling around without any clarification, leaving everyone in the dark. And let's talk about the weird timing. Why wait until October 7th to make a statement if they looked at the footage back in August? That delay reeks of either incompetence or a deliberate cover-up. Don't even get me started on the legal threats they threw around. It feels like a cheap tactic to silence critics instead of tackling the real issues. It's like they're waving a big red flag saying, "We're guilty," instead of addressing the drama. Also, the mention of the National Assembly is vague and feels like a weak deflection from the real issues. By bringing it up without any context, it hints at conspiracy theories and outside agendas without giving us any proof. They hint even at ulterior motives behind the claims but don't bother to clarify. This vague shot lacks any solid evidence and feels like a weak attempt to divert attention from the real issues. Boy, Belift really dropped the ball with the statement. If they wanted to clear things up, they should have come clean from the get-go instead of playing these lame games.
But that would be easy. No more articles.
South Korea is seriously a messed up country, and I can't be the only one who sees it. Someone explained to me why Taeil's crimes barely made waves in the media when it's a serious issue. Yet they were all over Suga like he committed a crime just for existing. Is the media that desperate to humble Suga because he's a BTS member? Let's be real, Taeil should be getting dragged through the mud every day for the disgusting stuff he did, and he should be serving a way longer sentence. It's like people over there are too comfortable brushing off the essay of women.
Yes, because in South Korea, abuse and crimes against women is a everyday thing, and they not considered real crime. And what's really important, that God forbid that someone is using drugs in South Korea. That's the big thing. Like, if you a police officer in South Korea and you can lash on or catch someone with drug, that is a automatic promotion in a higher level in your job. Like, and in South Korea you can hardly find anyone with drug. So yeah, their focus is on drugs, and South Korea is a heavily patriotic system. The country is founded on the sentiment that men are matter more than women, and that was the case. So it's not surprising that the birth rate is really, really low as of right now in South Korea, because no woman wants to marry no South Korean man anymore. Like, they had enough about South Korean men, especially after the Burning Sun case and now the newest quote unquote anthems that are surfacing, and they are using AI techniques to AI systems to steal uh, civil women's pictures on Instagram and stuff like that, and every woman needs to delete their social media accounts in South Korea right now. So no woman is feeling safe as of right now. So yeah, I'm not surprised about these priorities that South Korea has, and the law in South Korea is broken. It was never well thought out, and it was always one-sided. And the stronger, who is the stronger? That is really the question in South Korea's law system. Like, if you have the power, the money, you win. There is no court hearing or anything. You can defame someone with a simple word, and they are not doing no investigation or anything. If you have the power, you finish that other person.
Silence is deafening, and it's not even surprising when you think about how the Burning Sun scandal went down. All those criminals barely got punished, while the victims are left dealing with the trauma forever. Absolutely atrocious. Everyone gets riled up when it's Suga doing something minor, but when it's Tail doing something actually horrible, people act like it's not a big deal. What's even more messed up is that these same netizens seem to have their priorities completely out of whack. Why aren't they putting that energy towards something that matters, like real crimes and holding the right people accountable? Instead, they're getting upset over nothing while the real issues get ignored.
Because they know that the system is not going to take the true and real crimes seriously. That's it. The whole system is wrong and dirty and corrupt. So, like, South Korea literally need a reboot, like a whole reboot as a country, as a system, as a nation. They need to, like, rebirth from nothing. Like, sometimes I think that like they killing their own nation, like, purposefully. Like, after the Seoul tragedy and Itaewon tragedy, hundreds of South Korean people died, young people that would have been the future of the nation, and now the birth rate is really low. Like, no one is want to get married for a South Korean man. So the pure blood of the South Koreans are getting tainted with different kinds of marriages from the USA and other countries with Koreans. And I don't know, I think in a few years, like, economically speaking, few years, that means 20, 30, 40 years from now, South Korea is going to look like really, really different like now. And a lot of change is going to happen in the system of justice as well, as different kinds of people coming in, inside of the country, and they bring their traditions and ethics to South Korea is going to be really different, in my opinion.
It's honestly a joke at this point, and they need to wake up and focus on what actually matters. Bunny's gotta be the dumbest fourth-gen fandom, and I don't say that lightly. They haven't been around that long, but somehow they're already as annoying as Solo stands for Blackpink. This fandom is way too comfortable believing in fairy tales and worshipping Min Heejin like she's their queen. It's honestly wild. It's like they've got this weird fetish for grown women acting like toddlers, especially with how hard they defend those cringe cookie lyrics, and Min Heejin herself. They even baby NewJeans and Heejin when they're clearly in the wrong. I get it, NewJeans are both victims and villains in this mess, but the way bunnies defend Min Heejin, that's a whole new level of stupidity. The woman is clearly dragging NewJeans down with her, and y'all are cool with that? You're seriously okay with watching these girls throw their careers away for some sketchy, washed-up old hag? What's wrong with you? Instead of standing up and demanding that NewJeans stay out of the drama and focus on their careers.
I mean, thank God I'm not on Twitter/X, because I think I would drown in the different fandoms on Twitter, and it would take a lot of time for me to find my corner of the platform, like where I'm feeling comfortable, and clearing my timeline would cost me months probably, and a whole concussion probably, and mental instability, and I already have one, so no thank you. And I guess, yeah, bunnies are mostly young people, in my opinion, and some weirdos and the P word, I guess, because we talking about a young girl group. So I guess through Min Hee-jin, the brainwash worked not just on the NewJeans members, but on bunnies as well. But yeah, it's really, really hard to blame the members, because they were like they were groomed from a very really young age by Min Hee-jin. And when you grow up in this environment, especially when the one who's grooming you is your boss, is really difficult stuff.
Bunnies are out here making excuses and defending the absolute worst behavior. It's embarrassing. The only bunnies with any sense are the ones who've either dipped from the fandom entirely or are speaking out, wanting this drama to end and for NewJeans to break free from Min Heejin. They're the ones who actually care about NewJeans and want them to get some real help before their careers are ruined. But the majority of this fandom, nah. They're way too eager to sit back and watch their faves self-destruct. Every day I see the dumbest arguments from bunnies trying to justify that live video or acting like Min Heejin's some misunderstood genius. But when you ask for proof or actual facts of NewJeans' mistreatment and Min Heejin's innocent, they can't provide anything. It's always belief in rumors and speculations as facts. Same energy as Kooky Lit. And don't even get me started on the NewJeans should leave hype crowd. Where exactly are they supposed to go? Min Heejin?
Ooh, a little bit of shots fired for the YouTube channel Cookie Lit. I followed that channel for a little bit of time, and I thought the first time when I watched some news coverage that the channel did that it was good. I guess I not find problems with the style of the telling of the news, or I didn't thought that the person that collecting the news are really one-sided, but it was like a month ago or a year ago, and since then I found out that cookie lit is a really um, the person took a side and they stick with it, and that side is not the one that I'm on, so I'm not listening that channel anymore.
You think she's gonna cough up all that money to start her own agency just for NewJeans? Be real. She's fighting to get back as CEO because she needs Hybe's money. That's the only thing she cares about. And remember, she was offered the chance to just be a producer for NewJeans and turned it down. All because she couldn't care less about the group. It's always been about her. She's
True.
manipulating y'all, and you're just letting it happen because you refuse to think critically about anything. You believe her just because she's a woman and you want to feel like a feminist. But real talk, she contradicts herself all the time. It's not even hard to pick apart her statements. Just look at all the K-tubers, except Kukilit, of course, who've dragged her. They've done their research. They know what's up. But bunnies, y'all are out here just vibing with whatever nonsense Min Heejin feeds you. At the end of the day, it's clear you don't really care about NewJeans. You care more about feeling superior and defending garbage takes than actually protecting the group you claim to love. And oh, one last thing, no one is defending a billionaire company, you fools. We refuse to defend that psychopath you all love so much. And it doesn't take a Hybe lover to call out Min Heejin, and this is one of the rare cases where the company is in the right and can provide proof. Whereas Min Heejin and NewJeans,
Yeah.
all they have is crocodile tears.
Yeah.
NewJeans' parents seriously need to get fined. Like, they are part of the reason why some people just shouldn't be allowed to have kids. They're bottom-tier trash for pushing their daughters into company business just to side with Min Heejin. I wouldn't even be surprised if they were the ones encouraging their kids to do that live stream.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. But in the video that I did on my channel about this topic, when I talked about the parents, I've said like they need to do a press conference like Min Hee-jin style. Like I would watch that easily. Like I mean I would watch the danced version, like the smaller cut version, the cutted. But yeah, and I pointed out in my video that that it looks like the parents are paid managers sometimes, or crisis handling professionals. Like they act like that, but when they are on the field they are struggling, like they can't do anything that can save them or their children's reputation in the eyes of the public as of right now. Like you can't do anything. And I think this is I've heard one of the videos that I watched about the generational changes in South Korea, that the younger parents, like the parents of the NewJeans members, are having a really not difficult, a really different mindset than the generation before them as parents, and they seen their children in really different light. And if that was my initial take in my video, that if they let their children to be in this industry in the first time, like they were okay with their 12 and 13-year-old children to start this idol training and be ripped apart by the public and be a basically a toy that that the public can play with and the media can use for anything, clickbait, manipulating others and stuff like that. And they basically sell their children at this point, and it looks like they try to do some saving, but not in a sense of saving their children, in a sense of saving money. Like they want to do some here and there, cutting some threads, and came out from the contracts that binds their children with hype and saving I don't know how much money, but and in the end of the day they just want money. And they are a really bad parents. That's what we see as a civilians. Like the public sees them as a bad parents, and if they do a press conference, it would take only one or two words from the parents, and the general public in South Korea would change their mind if they were in defense of the parents and the NewJeans members, because I think the parents have a really how would I say, a degenerate mindset, because they think that a small thing like not saying hi to their children in the elevator is newsworthy, and it's enough to be in front of the court of law. And the messed up thing is that in South Korea it's enough, because the justice system is flipped over. So
Stream and demand that Min Hee-jin come back as CEO. And who knows, maybe they even encouraged their daughters to act entitled, thinking they could get their way. Obviously, this is all speculation, but based on how they've acted so far in the Hybe versus Min Hee-jin drama, I wouldn't put it past them. It's clear that their daughters are just as foolish as they are. What annoys me the most is how these parents act all high and mighty in this whole situation. They literally sold their kids into this industry, hoping for fame, but didn't complain about a thing until Min Hee-jin found herself in hot water. Like, where was all this outrage before? It wasn't an issue until now. I honestly hope Hybe comes for them hard. They better be ready to back up their nonsense because, just like Min Hee-jin, they seem like full-time narcissists. And let's not forget about the fans, bunnies, trying to defend Min Hee-jin's behavior by dragging the parents into the conversation like they have any moral ground to stand on. And here's the thing, these parents don't have a right to accuse the company of anything. It's their job to protect their daughters, not the company's job to raise their kids for them. Maybe if they were so concerned, they should have thought twice before throwing their kids into an industry that eats people alive.
Yep.
Where are the morals? Where were the parents when NewJeans made a complete fool out of themselves during that live stream? They should have been there. At the end of the day, a contract is a contract. I hope they get what's coming to them because they're just as bad as Min Hee-jin, and they deserve the consequences.
I mean, obviously.
NewJeans is way too dependent on Min Hee-jin. People love to hype Min Hee-jin up for shaping their image and sound, but honestly, she doesn't deserve all that praise. It's like NewJeans is writing off her reputation more than their own talent. The focus is always on her and not on themselves, which makes me wonder, if Min Hee-jin disappears forever and they have to work with another producer, will they behave themselves? Something is disturbing about them acting like they are pathetic without their so-called mother right now. They seriously need to get their act together, act professionally, and work with the company. The world doesn't revolve around them.
Yeah, but as I was saying, that they were groomed, and they, as of right now, Min Hee-jin is still have a effect on them, and the grooming is working really nicely, unfortunately. So yeah, this is why it's a difficult stuff. Like, you want to blame everyone who is rightfully can be blamed, but in the other hand, they were kids, they were in developing stage, in a developing stage, and Min Hee-jin took the opportunity and made something out of it. Unfortunately, it was a horrific outcome, but here we are.
And they can't expect to always get their way. Stuff happens in companies that no one can control, and it's not their job to fix it. If Min Hee-jin left, NewJeans would still be fine as long as Adore sticks to their concept. They need to stop whining about things they have no control over because honestly, it's making them look bad. If they want to grow, they need to toughen up and stop getting babied. No more pandering to them like they're fragile. It's time to show some maturity. This industry is tough, and if they don't adapt, they're not going to make it. Not every idol is a hard worker. And honestly, this whole narrative that they're all grinding nonstop is just plain false. Some idols are out here coasting on their popularity, doing the bare minimum, while others are actually busting their butts. But for some reason, fans love to play the overworked and exhausted card for everyone like they're all in the same boat. I mean, come on, not every idol is pulling 20-hour practice days. Some are just chilling and soaking up the fame while they can. You can tell who really cares and who's just there for the perks. It's wild how fans act like they know everything about their faves' work ethic when half the time it's just about how well they can market themselves. So yeah, let's be real, not every idol is grinding it out. Some are just happy to ride the wave while it lasts. Honestly, way too many K-pop songs these days are skipping out on a proper bridge, and it's getting ridiculous. Like, they just rush to get back to the final chorus, and we're left with no build-up, no transition, nothing. A strong bridge can take a song from good to amazing, but for some reason, they're just tossing that aside. It's like they're afraid to slow down for even a second or let the song breathe. Without a bridge, a lot of these songs just feel incomplete, like they're missing that final puzzle piece. And for real, it's disappointing because a well-crafted bridge can add so much depth and emotion to a song. But nah, let's just jump straight to the chorus again and again like we're on repeat. It's lazy and takes away from what could be a much better listening experience. Choruses in K-pop these days are seriously losing their impact, and it's becoming way too obvious. A lot of them just feel repetitive, like there's no real energy or excitement behind them anymore. You hear the chorus once, and it's like, okay, that's it. There's no punch or standout moment that makes you want to replay the song on loop.
That's why when I'm finding a new artist, I'm sometimes really quickly disappointed because when I listen a song and the chorus is not great and it's not having any bridge, I am really put off by listening another song from the same artist, and that's why I am not listening a lot of new stuff. Either the algorithm is offering me, or in the shuffle is coming up new stuff, and I'm listening through that, but I'm not typing in different idols and artists deliberately. So that's why I'm so stuck right now. Like, I don't know where to start in like girl groups and female soloists and stuff like that, and even the R&B sphere of K-pop and male soloists and yeah, I need help.
Back in the day, K-pop choruses used to hit hard. They'd stick in your head for hours, maybe even days. Now, it's either some super safe, generic melody or just plain boring. It's like producers are scared to take any risks, and instead, we're stuck with these watered-down hooks that don't leave a lasting impression at all. A good chorus should elevate a song, not make you question if it's worth finishing. Where's the fire? Where's the hype? Choruses used to be the best part of K-pop songs, but lately they're more of a letdown than anything else.
Yep.
I miss when they really knew how to deliver that knockout punch.
Yeah.
Pow! Most idols can actually dance, they're just really good at following well-choreographed routines. It's wild how many of them look like they're just hitting marks instead of actually flowing with the music.
Yeah.
Raw dancing talent is like a rare gem in K-pop. Most of
Most of the times, right now as well, when these clips are showing, I'm looking at the lower parts of the body of theirs, like, and they are moving. If their hips not moving the right way, or the upper body is so unsynchronized with the lower part, is so dissatisfying for me. Like, they are not flowing literally, like her saying. Like, it's not a good experience.
these idols are trained to perform these slick moves that make them look great on stage, but if you strip away the choreography, what are you really left with? Sure, they can memorize steps and hit those beats, but that doesn't mean they're natural dancers. It's like watching a perfectly polished performance that lacks that genuine spark.
Yeah, and when they are showing fan cams and the one of the idol is not in the center, then and they are traveling from different parts of the stage, they are not locked in. Like, their eyes are everywhere, and they are thinking of the next part of the song, and they are not immersed in the thing that they are doing right now. Like, it's so lame in my opinion. Like, you have to be the center of the performance. It doesn't even matter if you're not center in the stage. Like, come on, it's your performance. This is your song. Like, how you gonna tell me that your song is amazing, and if we can not immerse in it, like, you can convince me that you love what you do, in my opinion. Like, I go like this deep in this situation. Like, you have to sell me yourself on the stage. Like, you have to be able to get me engaged with the stuff like that you do on stage. Like, come on, that's why you're there, literally.
Frustrating because true dance talent is hard to find in this industry, but the focus is always on the flash and not the actual skill. So while we're out here watching these well-oiled machines move around, let's not forget there's a difference between being a great performer and a great dancer.
Yep.
Alright punks, guys, just to remind you, these are my opinions, not facts, so chill out and don't take everything so seriously. I always love hearing your thoughts, so hit me up in the comments below. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to keep